and social media expert. Will, hello. I think there's been sort of an ongoing cyber war, but I guess it intensifies now. Is that a correct assessment?
Yeah, the challenge with the phrase cyber war is it could start from cache points not working, and it can go all the way through to somebody willfully forcing a nuclear reactor to overload. There is a wide scale. If you're saying cyber warfare, the general way to describe it is anything that can be controlled over the internet, which is most of our modern infrastructure, most of our food, for example, all that will be organized. The shipping of that will be organised through the internet, fuel shipments, etc. That can be tampered with online through a cyber war. So anything we can do to the Russians can do to us. And then you've got people like the Chinese, you've got the North Koreans. There are cyber forces all around the world now. And back in 2007, the Americans successfully used an early piece of cyber warfare, a thing called Stuxnet, on an Iranian nuclear reactor and the centrifugal process in that to create the fuel they essentially wanted to make missiles. This made it spin too quickly, and as a result of that, the Iranian nuclear program was put back by a number of years. So it's possible, it's real, and it's happening.
Yes. I noticed the Kremlin website has gone down, and I tried to check on it this morning and see if it was working, and I was unable to check it. I'm presuming it's still down, and it wasn't just my internet connection. So are we winning the cyber war if we've been able to take out the Kremlin website? Presumably it was somebody on our team.
I'm thinking it's amateurs that have done the Kremlin website. A number of organizations, cyber organizations not affiliated to any government, took credit for it. That was a simple brute force attack on a website. Lots of these happen. The big concern when countries and states do these brute force denial of service attacks, it's what's going on behind that. It's the noisiest, loudest method of doing some kind of cyber attack, but it's what's going on behind that. So they might be knocking on the front door, but what are they doing around the back of that particular website? Or checking in terms of the sort of cyber infrastructure. The thing for me about this is interesting. We have a pretty good cyber warfare team in the UK. GCHQ have been building that cyber defense. But like I said, places like North Korea, who can't necessarily afford to conventional arms, missiles, etc., they have been investing really heavily in these kind of cyber warfare forces. And it sounds weird to say it now when we've got a conflict in Europe, but we go back a few years, it was the North Koreans that managed to hack Sony Pictures in the US, leaking a number of films and essentially getting Barack Obama in the US involved as a result of this sort of cyber attack on a large corporation. So like I said, cyber warfare is very much sort of a sliding scale. It can be the cache point not working in your local town through to something very serious. I mean, the US have had, last week, this was angrily denied by the White House, but NBC News put out a report that Joe Biden had been given a shopping list of potential activities they could use in the sphere of cyber warfare. It was everything from delaying fuel shipments from Russia to stop them getting into the Ukraine to refuel weapons and vehicles, through to actually derailing tanks in the Ukraine, sorry, not tanks, trains in the Ukraine. So if a train was on the track, they could change the points and they could potentially derail the train. And then there was more serious than that. So there are many, many measures that can be taken in cyber warfare because it's new and it's largely untested. The big fear is what happens if somebody does this. Is it going to start escalating? Are we going to see, in the same way as you see in conventional warfare, could a cyber attack lead to mass escalation? Could it lead to the Russians attacking the UK, etc., etc.? It's something that's very new and untested.